Welcome to We Know Marketing, We Promise, a podcast where strategy meets conversation. We're Naoma and Kelsey, two agency owners who live and breathe branding and marketing. We're here to share real stories, smart strategies, and fresh ideas to help you build a brand that actually works. So grab a seat and your favorite drink and let's dive in.
Welcome. You always have a problem with the mic.
I just like to move a lot. So I adjusted and now I have better posture and I'm looking straight at your beautiful face.
Great. And the mic will move as the video progresses.
Because I will move.
But today we are talking about how to audit your marketing on a quarterly basis because we are in a new quarter. So
We are.
somehow.
It's almost October, which is crazy.
Well, by the time this plays, it will be October.
I know.
So it's really weird doing a podcast because you're like talking in the future, but you are not in the future. So I feel like Miss Cleo.
Except we're really not that far ahead.
That's why Miss Cleo, I can only see 10 feet away.
I'd like to see about 50 feet away.
Okay, but we're going to talk
auditing,
about
marketing,
how to audit your marketing.
quarterly. Yeah. So that's something we do with our clients is every 90 days we reevaluate like their strategy. We go back, pull up the document on a call together, and we work through like what do the reports show? What does the strategy show? How do we see that integrated well? Where did that not integrate well? And then we make decisions moving forward, tweak the document, and execute.
Okay, and for most of those listening are probably in my boat, which is what?
Well, you should be doing that with all of your marketing, not just your social media. But I do think social media is a really strong arm for a lot of people's marketing right now.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I do not audit my marketing, so I feel like I'm going to go home and do that this weekend. But where did we start? I know.
What?
No, I don't.
No, but what would you be evaluating? You would definitely evaluate your newsletter, which is a form of your marketing. What about your like in-person connections, things like that?
I don't track any of that.
You don't?
No. I'm over here living on a prayer.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we're living on prayers and vibes.
Which is why you should go back and listen to Do As We Say, Not As We Do.
No, I'm joking. There
I
is some strategy, but it's definitely not.
But you're also in the phase of reevaluating a lot of stuff with your business.
Yeah, I am, which is actually a lot of fun. And I don't mean that sarcastic. I'm actually very excited about doing that.
Yes. Yeah, it brings a different life into you, I've noticed.
Yeah. But I will, according to our notes, aka ChatGPT.
Oh my gosh. You don't need to listen to us. Just get on ChatGPT. I'm touching the mic again.
Yeah, I'm shocked it hasn't moved. No, but according to this is we really should start big picture, which I agree with. What are the... Okay, hold on. Side note.
I'm out of water.
Double, and there's coffee on the way, so get ready.
And my toddler's giving me congestion from school.
Oh.
Anyways.
Well, I just lost my side note.
Back to our notes. Back to our ChatGPT assistant over there. Our little admin assistant on that phone.
Shout out. Oh gosh. I'm shocked y'all are still listening sometimes.
How do you audit your marketing? How do you audit your social media? I mean, I can tell you how we do it. Yeah, I don't know if that's helpful.
I think it would probably be helpful, and then I'll rein it back in if it feels too intense.
Okay. So what we'll do is after we start posting for a client, we give it at least 30 to 45 days because you really don't need to be looking at the analytics every single day of every single post yet. It's good to look at the whole picture and then to go back and see this one did well, this one did not, here's this, and you can kind of view it that way. But you don't want to do that every single day. You'll burn yourself out on all of it because you'll be like, this call to action didn't work at all. And it's like, well, how do you know that? Because you've posted for 3 days. You don't know that.
You don't know that. And also algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you posted on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock when something else went crazy online and no one really cared about what you had to say that day. But had that been a Wednesday at 7 a.m., maybe it would have performed better. You don't know. So we always do 30 days, 30 to 45 days evaluating. Our process is pretty hefty on the front end so that we can understand the brand. So our onboarding runway is pretty long now. We've been implementing a new production process. And so the client, from the day that we do their strategy to them getting their first report, is a pretty long amount of time, like 90 days, if not longer. So you're looking at your reports. You're like, what am I supposed to be looking at? Impressions, reach, all those things are coming up. And it also depends on what platform you're on. So I'll talk specifically about Instagram or LinkedIn. Which one?
Let's go with LinkedIn because I know it more.
Okay. So with LinkedIn, first off, you want to upload your login to a third party to help you pull better analytics. LinkedIn does not have the best analytics software within its platform.
Yeah, I don't use it.
Yeah. I would use a third party and plug your login into it and have it pull the analytics, because LinkedIn is not going to give you a full picture view of how well your content's performing. From there, you want to obviously look at how many people are engaging with the post. How many posts did you actually put up? What were the content pillars that you hit on? Were there any specific keywords that were in some of the posts that were performing better? And kind of look at the full map of it. I love the software we use because it'll show the best performing post, and that will include everything, not just impressions and reach and likes. It also has shares, reposts, how long someone stayed on the post and read it. Even if they didn't engage with it, they didn't scroll past it, because that would be an impression. They stayed on the post for a certain amount of time. So it tells you kind of all of that information.
And you're using Metricle for that one, or are you using Authored Up? Okay.
I have Authored Up now for my personal, and then we're using Metricle to plug in all of it. So I have all of my accounts, and this is where you can audit much quicker. I have my Instagram page. This is all for Stevie Social. I have our Instagram page, our LinkedIn, YouTube. Our website can be on Metricle too. Pretty much any platform we are posting on, it's loaded into Metricle, and it gives you a summary of your analytics. So I can select the date, pull the report. I can grab the strategy. So then I have the 30-day report or 90-day report, because we're going to talk quarterly. And I have my strategy that I had put together. And honestly, what I've been doing lately is, for our brand, plugging both of those into ChatGPT and asking, what are the trends that I might not notice? And what are this is what I'm seeing. And I outline my initial thoughts from looking at the analytics report and at the strategy. And then once I plug in those initial thoughts, I'm like, what am I missing? And it'll be like, okay, here's some things to think about. This post did this, and this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, wow, how interesting. So then I'll go back and forth with ChatGPT to kind of like sift it through. And I can help with prompts and things like that, because that is one of the best tools to help you just summarize data and things like that. You don't want to rely on it for certain things.
No.
But when you're plugging in the two documents and it's like, only take information from these two documents and my thoughts, it can actually give you a pretty good evaluation of where you're currently at. And then from there, I make the decisions of like, this is what we want to do moving forward, especially because you want to look ahead to like, okay, we have the holidays coming up. So that's going to be something I'm going to think through. But if I'm fully relying on ChatGPT to tell me what my strategy tweaks need to be, it's not going to know the nuances everywhere. Like the timing, it's not going to know what's going on in the climate online, what LinkedIn's current, like it's not reading into all those things that I know simply from just being immersed in it on a daily basis. And so I make my evaluations and then put it into a presentation. I run through it with the client and we talk through, this is what we're going to do moving forward. Some of those tweaks have looked like, man, in the summer, people don't have a lot of capacity for super deep content. But around the holidays, they really love storytelling and they really love to hear about community and they really love to hear about culture and those like deeper things. So in the summer, we would do more fun, playful content that's like about the team or, fun facts and did you knows and things like that that don't feel so heavy. And then around the holidays, we did like a partnership with a nonprofit and promoted them before Giving Tuesday when they were going to be doing a really big campaign. So there's like more room for depth in there. So that's how we take the analytics, and then those would be the changes that we make based on seasonality and things like that. So I know I went off a lot of different rabbit trails.
Man, that was pretty intense to think through that much of your social, but that can happen when you have a social strategy.
Yes.
So if you're just pulling analytics, that's not really telling you everything because you have no social strategy to back it up. So if you have no social strategy, this is what our notes say is, I'm going to talk about the brand here in a minute because we all know that I get mad if you're not using the right colors or your fonts.
Yep.
But it says, review your top 5 performing posts and your emails and podcast episodes, which is probably something that we're going to be doing. And I know that we have a meeting in October to go over our stuff.
I think it's November, but that's fine.
It's on the calendar. It's fine.
Top performing is good, but
it's saying, look at engagement quality. How many comments, shares, replies, not just likes.
It just makes me scared for you, because if you do that and then that's your strategy moving forward is to do more of that, it's not going to be an effective strategy for revenue.
Okay, why not?
Because it's only telling a small piece of the story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's not taking into account the whole calendar and like what type of things people are consuming. And
and does it actually say what you do, or was it a trend that just did really well? Or is your entire strategy built around trends and you don't even know that? Or are you constantly putting out hot things that are just a little bit more controversial, and then it piques your engagement?
Okay, I see that. Okay, so because I do look at my stuff, putting notes aside, I do look at my stuff on a monthly basis just to see like what is working and what is not working. I usually, when I've hit some sort of crazy, I like wrote something that like I just hit it at the right time and my engagement went crazy. Like when I talked about AI and when I talked about Cracker Barrel, like that, I kind of just throw those posts out because I can't like recreate that magic, right? So I'm more looking at what is the thing that people are engaging with that are not a virality thing that I didn't mean to happen. It's still things that I need to talk about, but that just hit. I said something that made people angry or whatever.
A specific audience angry usually.
I'm so good at that.
No, that's good because those are outliers. So when you look at, if you take statistics or whatever, which I had to do for my psychology degree, if it's an outlier, you have to throw it out because it's not going to show you the full picture.
True story. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you can plug in, when you were even saying that, you can take those top 5 posts and even your top 5 newsletters and ask like, what were the themes and the patterns and like, how was this written? And are there any patterns or themes that were consistent between the top 5 newsletters and top 5 social media posts, and ask ChatGPT that. And more than likely, what we hit on so hard is the content pillars. And so you're probably talking about the same things in the emails that you are on social media. You should be, because your content pillars should be a part of your marketing, not just social. Yeah. And if there's certain things that are piquing people's interest more, that's really good to know. But that does not mean that that's the only thing you need to talk about. It actually means it's probably what your content has centered around because you really like that part of your strategy. And those are the pillars you really like talking about. But what about these other 2 pillars that are huge pieces of revenue driving, like information, education, sharing your work? Like that's a really hard one for me. I don't love to like put it out there that the results we're getting for clients, but guess what? Like that's what
people care about that
for revenue. Absolutely. Yeah. It's like, oh, but it feels so cringy and I don't want to post that this client had this and this happen. And it's like, no, you need to put that out there. That needs to be on your website. That needs to be in newsletters. That needs to be in places depending on what the overall goal is. But that's something I would think about too. If you're not posting based on a strategy, like ask ChatGPT, what are you talking about?
So maybe one thing that you can also do is like even say, pull the top 3 posts of each of your pillars and see if there's like some sort of pattern of how you write or the type of content it was or something along those lines.
Yeah. Or for percentages, like here's a 90-day review of all the content that I posted. Here goes the mic.
There goes the mic.
She's going off again.
10 minutes in.
Okay, so
It's
you
moved
can
3 times
you
now.
can say these are my 3 content pillars. Here's my 30 days of posts. Like, give me percentages on how much I hit those content pillars, and it'll be like 90% was this, and 10% was this, and 10, or whatever. Like, I already hit the 100, but we're not math people. So
you are. I am not.
so like, but that would really help you evaluate like how to change your content moving forward, because we're in this for the long game and you really want to be sticking to the same themes so that your social media actually drives revenue. Like that's the main thing I go back to with clients is like, you want to be getting leads from your social media, don't you? Like you want it to cover the cost of what you're paying me, right?
Well, it depends. Like everybody's goals are different, right? So some people are looking for that. Most
More
people
than
are.
likely.
Most people are. Other people could be looking at, speaking engagements, speaking opportunities, things like that. But
Which would still be getting them more money, which would allow them to pay for my service.
okay, we're getting
I will
into
die.
it.
I will die on this hill.
Okay, so if you have no strategy, maybe the best thing to do is to download all of the analytics from whatever platform you have. Whatever you have right now, download them from the last 90 days and then run them through ChatGPT to have some sort of a synthesizer of this is what you've talked about, this is what's performing well, whatever. So that it can synthesize it back to you. And then you can kind of work a strategy from the summary that you're getting.
I would go back farther than 90 days too, because if you're going to be strategizing for the next 90 days, you want to look at what was the closest 90 days, but then also what was the, go back, 180 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's 6 months.
Oh my gosh. Look at 6 months worth of analytics, but you want to look at you want to break them up because you could have potentially been talking about different things 6 months ago than you are today. And you'll be able to see if you are someone who is following trends. Like if you don't have a strategy, more than likely you are following trends. And so you'll be able to see like, oh, wow, look at the calendar. This was a really hot topic back in May and I was talking about it, but I haven't talked about that now in 6 months. But that is something that still really relates to my business, and that can spark you to create another piece of content around that previous post.
Yeah. Okay, so if you have no strategy, put in analytics to synthesize into GPT so that it can tell you what your potential strategy could be for the next quarter. 1. 2, here comes designer Naoma coming out, is I want you to review all the type of content that's not written that you are putting out. Are we following brand standards? Are we using the right color? Color is my biggest one.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Color is my biggest one because it is the most recognizable part of your brand. People will not totally remember what your logo looks like or even what your name could be. If you think about it, when you're like, oh, what was that store that you went to? I don't know. It was like a green circle.
Yeah.
People will say that. Green circle. I don't know. There was a red circle. Like there was a rhino that was like pink,
so then,
whatever.
But what about their logo being on every social media post?
Don't do it.
Why? You want them to see your logo? You want them to remember? You want them to come back to it?
No.
Why?
Because it's just so cringy. You're being cringe. Like that's like tattooing your freaking name on your arm.
Which some people do.
Oh God, if you did that and I'm so sorry, but I am judging you. That's like, oh, I forgot what my name was. That's what having a logo on every single social post is to me.
Well, the goal is that you're subtly pushing your brand forward,
but your logo,
without having to have the logo smack dab in the center of it. Yeah. It's like, oh, this feels like Nuevo. Oh, this feels like Stevie.
Your logo is not your brand. It's a teeny tiny, it's like literally the tip of the iceberg of your brand. So that's why color and fonts are like, if you're not using those, I'm so mad at you. And because we're getting into the holidays, do not change your logo to red and green. Do not do this. Do not add a Santa hat to your logo. Do it. You are breaking your brand. You want to make the holidays match your vibe. What does a Nuevo Christmas card look like? What does a Stevie Christmas card look like? You own your brand. The holiday does not own your brand.
Don't put a Santa hat on your logo, please.
Please. And I just,
So when they're
I already
auditing,
know I'm going to get so many DMs with like their logos with Santa hats is just like making fun of me. If you do that, I will blast you.
I can't wait to do that. Here's what you're gonna get in the mail from me for Christmas. It's a photo of me with a Santa hat on.
You with this, that's fine. That's fine. Don't put on the logo. Just don't.
With the logo on the Santa hat. Okay, but auditing your visuals on social, auditing your visuals on your website, your newsletter.
Color is the most important part of your brand.
Color,
So
fonts.
don't
Make sure it's all consistent. If it hasn't been
Yes.
consistent, start being consistent with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I see people use script anymore and script is not part of their font,
I saw script on a billboard the other day and I was like I was legitimately trying to
cannot
see what
read
the business was because the photo made me intrigued and I couldn't read it.
no.
I could not read it. I'm
Yeah.
like, on the side of a highway, do not use a script font. Terrible.
Well, if you're doing a billboard, you should be able to read that billboard in 3
3
seconds or
seconds.
less.
Yes.
So
So you're not causing a wreck.
if you're adding the script, yeah. Maybe that's a good one for insurance is like they just make their billboard hard to read so people will get in wrecks and then call them. Don't do that, please.
They would probably say that's not a
Yeah, don't do that. But don't start adding things to make your brand feel more holiday-ish or more whatever. It is breaking brand trust and
Yeah, I like the question of what
recognizability.
is a Nuevo Christmassy post look like? Like what would a Christmas party look like that you guys would throw or
Mhm.
and think along those lines.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that really well. And then
I need links.
I mean, I did just do a video yesterday for Stevie content and I had been researching seasonal campaigns that I really enjoy
Yeah.
and how they pressed in and did it really well.
Mhm.
And so that's like what's fresh on my mind, not the bad ones.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there are some good ones, but they come from like Coca-Cola and Nike
Right.
and like whatever. Mm,
Well, they have massive marketing budgets.
yeah. I can
Yeah.
tell you that Susan with her insurance company is sticking a Santa hat on her logo. Susan, don't
we
do
love
that.
you.
You're like, Susan, we love you. And I'm like, Susan, don't do that.
Susan, we're for you.
I just want you to be great. That's what it is. And the mic has moved 6 times now.
I'm consistent.
You sure are.
Okay,
You
so
sure are.
auditing visuals, auditing analytics, messaging. I feel like we hit on all of that pretty well.
I think one thing that people tend to forget is, yeah, we're auditing and we're posting and we're trying to get consistent and we're building that consistency muscle that I talk about all the time. But where are you leading people to? Is it just like, book a call, here's my website, or do we have some sort of like thought through process of how am I collecting data? How am I getting a lead? How am I capturing?
Yeah. One of the most recent things I even started auditing was I implemented a type form after you showed me. And so everyone has to do a type form.
Type form.
Everyone that does a discovery call has to do a type form and there's like certain questions. Otherwise, you don't get to my calendar. Like you don't make it to my calendar.
That's called a red velvet rope policy, or as Kelsey likes to call them, a red velvet robe.
Yes. Red velvet rope policy. And I just, evaluating like what their problems have been. So
Yeah.
like this month and last month, we've had a lot of discovery calls. And so it's given me the opportunity to pull like 15 people's biggest pain points and create content around that because I audited it.
Yeah. So if you have a great
looking at
capture
this.
form that you're saying, hey, why are you contacting me? What is the problem now? Potential clients are literally telling you what their problems are, and you can just be making content about that.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
why would you miss out on an opportunity that's so clearly right in front of you? I was literally looking at my Typeform 2 days ago, and I was like, I should be plugging all of this in to ChatGPT and asking like, what are the consistent things or what feels like an outlier here, and to see if I'm actually drawing in my ideal audience. And I am, which is great.
Great.
In the last 2 months, like I have been.
Awesome.
The people that are booking discovery calls are.
That was 7 mic moves. Okay. Well, I think we covered that pretty great, because there's a lot more that we could talk about, but it gets really nitty gritty. And I feel like
I think I kind of did that already.
I think we've already
I
done
apologize.
that. No, it's okay. So key things, look at what you've been doing, synthesize it, and then try to recreate the magic if it is actually converting.
Yes. And tweak. I mean, if you're doing if you've actually invested in a strategy, like a social media strategy, marketing strategy, don't make drastic changes. Like, it's usually going to be a tweaking, not a I am trashing this entire plan.
Oh, yeah.
Moving forward. It's like, no, let's just evaluate it and fix a couple of things. Because more than likely, if you've paid for that to be created, like you probably haven't been operating it long enough to see the results. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't want to see any Santa hats on your logos.
No
this
more.
Christmas. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on this episode of We Know Marketing, We Promise. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your business bestie. Want more? Follow us for updates, behind the scenes, and plenty of marketing gems.